Hey guys, welcome back to the TCP networking with Python series. Today we're just going to do a quick video on the TCP client model. This is just going to be mostly the send method where we're going to break the message up and send it. So the constructor is relatively simple. All we want to do is we just want to set the sock of the class to client sock and then the address as well. So AGDR equals client. So you will recognize this sock from the get TCP client. If I can find it. Yeah, get TCP client, that's this client.sock here. So now we will just want to do the send method. This should be relatively short as well, as we already know most of the concepts and the logic behind it from the receive method. So we don't want to override this one either. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to first convert the message into bytes. We then want to pad the message, or let me just reword this, modify message. So that's going to be converting into bytes and then adding that finished tag at the end. And then next we're just going to want to break it up and send individual packets. So to modify the message, we first have to convert it to bytes. So this do encode, if it's set to true, that means that we are passing in a string and we want it to encode it into bytes, and if it's bytes, this is going to be set to false, so it won't have to encode it. So we're just going to create a new variable, send_b equals message.encode. This is going to be an inline if statement, so UTF-8. UTF-8 is the one used to send messages, but I've had the problem with decoding this, so that's why I had to use Latin 1 over here. So message.encode UTF-8 if do encode, else message. So this is just an inline if statement. It goes, this is how, so it's true, a true result, if condition, else false result. So an example would be 3 if num greater than 10, else 4. So if the number was greater than 10, it would return a 3, and otherwise it would return a 4. So I can actually just keep that here on the side. And then next, we're going to want to add that finished tag. So send_b plus equals finished string dot encode with UTF-8, and this is just me adding that finished tag. Next, we want to break it up. So we need to know one thing first. That's just going to be the size. So size is equal to len. That just gets the length of the bytes array. So send b. And we're going to want to have a placeholder index, so idx is equal to 0. So while idx is less than size minus buff size. No, not buff size, packet size. Just like that. So let me just pass for now. So the way this is going to work is we're going to go back here, and we have an idx starting at 0. So the len, the size, the whole thing, that is the whole length. And we start idx is equal to 0. And while idx is less than, what did I say? Size minus packet size. So the size minus the packet size gets me to about here. So that means that there is more than a packet left in the message. So I will take one packet of it and I will send it. That is packet 1. And now we're at the IDXs here. But this, the remaining stuff, size minus packet size, is still here, but that's less than the IDX. So the index is greater than that number here. So that means that it will not iterate, it will not be able to send a whole nother packet, because you see it goes farther than the message. So that will be handled after the while loop. So we're just going to go self.sock.send, we're going to send b, and we're going to go idx to idx plus packet size. So once again, we're taking an array from the initial IDX to IDX plus packet size, which gets us to right here. But that's only if there's a packet size worth of stuff left. And next, we're going to want to increment IDX. So IDX plus equals bus size, packet size. And then after the while loop, we have to handle this whole end stuff right here. Remember, not. Let's see, right here. This stuff right here, because remember, this is not as big as a packet, but it's smaller. So it's going to be self.sock.send, and then we're going to send the IDX there. So that is just the end of the message, and this notation just takes from this index to the end of the message. So yeah, that is the client model class. I actually lied about testing. Next video, we first have to write an actual client that will connect to the server first. So after that, we will begin writing a test class just to ensure everything works properly. Alright, I will see you guys in that video.